Okay. So today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. I am the interviewer Amy Moritz, and I'm with Noelani Cornfield, an alumni arena on the campus of the University at Buffalo. Noelani is a Seneca Nation, Cattaraugus Territory, Gowanda native. She was a second-team All-Western New York selection in 2019, playing for Lakeshore High School. She started her college career at Northwest Florida, then played at Southern Miss before playing the 2024-25 season with the University at Buffalo. She was named to the WNIT All-Tournament team, helping the Bulls win the WNIT postseason title, setting records for Big Four women's basketball success, both on and off the court, actually. So, Noelani, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Great. So, I'm going to start kind of back a little bit, but tell me about a time that you first remember just falling in love with sports.
I don't know. I mean, I guess like my mom put us in everything. Like we did everything. So I guess, I don't think we really had the choice to love it or not because we were just in it.
So what did she put you in everything? So obviously basketball, but what else did you do?
Yeah, we did like basketball. We did skating on ice. We did a little bit of tennis, played lacrosse, softball, soccer, volleyball. I played volleyball in high school. We tried swimming. I didn't really like it. We did gymnastics. I tried to do a little bit of karate, but that kind of went in between with like basketball and stuff, so I didn't really do that. But anyways, yeah. So we were in a lot of stuff.
That was good. That's a lot of. It's almost the Olympic repertoire that you read off there.
For real.
Did you enjoy that variety? Like, did you like being able to do all those different sports? I
did, honestly, and I think doing all of those sports is what kind of helped our athleticism as well, because like it's every sport is different and uses different muscles, and like being able to play multiple sports, it activates different things. So.
Great. And when did basketball kind of come to the forefront for you?
Yeah, so my parents were in the military, and so at one point we were in Korea, and me and my sister we were 2 years old, and just I guess my mom had this in like just like toddler or whatever basketball league at 2 years old, and that was really when we first started. We, like I said, we were in so many other things that we were kind of dibbling and dabbling, but we didn't really start taking it serious till about maybe fifth grade, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. Yeah, we kind of started like just doing traveling stuff and whatnot. But so yeah.
What was it about basketball? I mean, you certainly sampled a whole lot of sports there, and you said you played volleyball in high school as well. Mm. So, but was there something about basketball that just really clicked for you?
I think maybe, I guess probably because it just required hand-eye coordination, and I don't know. I guess I just fell in love with like getting better at it. I mean, the other sports I liked it. I thought it was fun, but I guess I just felt something different for basketball, and I guess I thought it was more fun. Mm-hmm.
So you played in high school. So, and did you play AAU? Is that what you
Yes.
also played? Okay. So tell me about the differences for you playing high school versus AAU. What was the competition like? I guess let's start there.
Yeah. So it's funny because like, so on the reservation, like, because after my mom had retired from the military, we had moved back to the reservation when we were in like third grade or so. And me, like my sister and I, and then like a whole bunch of other girls on the reservation, we just started like traveling together, playing basketball, like going to basketball tournaments. Like it was my friend's dad who would take us everywhere, like had the uniforms, whatever else. And this was probably about fourth, fifth, sixth grade, like those years where it's just like us and a couple other girls from the reservation, and like we were just like, it was just res basketball. Like there was no really structure. Like we were just playing up and down, going fast, pick up. And then when we left doing that and like we actually got into AAU and whatever else, that was completely different too, because like I mean, yes, AAU is kind of just not really structured or whatever, but I guess it also depends on your the organization you're playing for. And so like, cause like it was different. Like I mean, it was more discipline, more role like, and so that was different from the start. But I think that's what I think, like when you start out, it's kind of what the point is, just have fun and just kind of figure out the game. But then in high school, I would say it's hard because in high school, those girls that we started out playing with were the girls that we were kind of playing with in high school, and so like we were that same play we were doing in AAU, quote unquote. It was how we were playing in high school, and so I guess high school and AAU, like it did differ, and I'll definitely say that like yeah, it's more role like in AAU, and just kind of the coaches, they're gonna do things to put in tactics, plays, whatever to help you win. Like, it's not just kind of just go out there and go showcase your skills. But in high school, I feel like it was kind of opposite. Like me and my sister, we were kind of the main ones on the team, so we were able to do more. So, but yeah, that's kind of where it differed.
Okay. I want to ask you about your sister, but I want to go back to something like you said, like when you were playing when you were younger on the team, and other girls from the Rez, and you used the phrase Rez Ball, which I've heard, So, I guess you described it a little bit, but how would you describe? First of all, how would you describe that? Because it sounds like kind of like that freedom of playing when you're little, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, yeah, Rez Ball is literally just fast-paced basketball. Like, if you watch that movie or whatever that came out on Netflix, like that's exactly how it is. Like you go to any native tournaments, it's just like you're watching a tennis match. It's just so fast, like just back and forth, shoot whatever shots. I mean, but at the same time, like there might not be any talking either, because they're just like so much movement and the ball's just moving. Like whoever they're playing with has probably been playing with each other for a while, so just kind of just chemistry and connection. And so yeah, it's just fast paced, just moving. Like it's fun.
So I watching it looks it's really really fun.
Yeah.
To watch. What was the basketball culture like then for on the reservation for you go?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I would say that like there's so many people that play basketball, but lacrosse is our main sport. I mean, we Native Americans created the game, and so a lot of Native Americans tried to put their kids in it at an early age, just kind of keep it going. And so lacrosse is actually, I would say, is probably bigger than basketball, but I think it's like right there, like probably 50-50 with people playing basketball and lacrosse. And even if they are playing lacrosse, they're probably playing basketball. If they're playing basketball, they're probably playing lacrosse. But wait, what was the question?
Let's get on no, that's fine. No, that was great. But also the basketball culture, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's kind of that. Just playing fast. I mean, you just really just getting chemistry with whoever you're playing with, and then it helps because if other people are moving as well, so you're kind of just cutting up, playing basketball.
Right, yeah. And for girls playing, like when you were growing up, were there a lot of girls to play with, or was it? Did you play with the boys?
Yeah, I would always say like there's girls playing, but I guess to the skill that we were at, I would say like me and my sister, my cousin, and our one friend, we were kind of just the main four that really took basketball more seriously, and so like we were kind of the ones that would just want to play it with whoever else. But yeah, I would say we either if we didn't play with the older girls that were in it, we were probably playing against the guys or just like different boys, because there was so many boys obviously that were playing basketball and we play with them. But I would probably say we play with older girls though.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you mentioned your twin sister, right?
Yes.
So what was it like playing with her in high school?
Yeah. I mean, it was great. Like we just had we had that chemistry of our own. We just kind of knew where each other was on the court all the time, and like it honestly was perfect because I was a point guard and she was a shooting guard, and so I mean I found her all the time, and she would score, I'd get my assist. Like we did it. I mean, but it was great though. I mean, obviously, I mean growing up and going through high school and whatever else, she was getting so many accolades because she was a talented, God-given like athlete, and she could do it all, and I was her biggest support and whatever else. But at the same time, like I wasn't really getting anything either. Like, I was on JV. I started on JV while she started on varsity, and I don't know. I just felt like I had to just work 2 times harder, and I was always in the gym. She didn't really. She would practice and do what else with me, but she didn't really feel like her heart wasn't it to really practice it as much as I did. Because I mean, she didn't really have to, because she was just so athletic and talented. Like, but yeah, I guess as much as she was like doing as good, I wanted to be right there with her. And so, I mean, her success made me want to be just as successful. And so I was always working. I was working after practice, before practice, like just trying to do what else, just get better, because I was smaller too. And so, I mean, there was different things, different restrictions that they would say about smaller basketball players. And so I would just work to be able to not be a part of that group. But it was great. I mean, I miss playing with her. We haven't played since high school together, but we do miss it. My parents miss it. We were super fun to watch. We were super fun. I loved playing with her.
So after high school, and you weren't recruited,
Yeah.
out of high school. So tell me a little bit about post high school, and then junior college, right? Is
Yeah.
where you went then.
Yeah, so after my junior year at Lakeshore, my sister and I made the decision to go to Putnam Science Academy in Connecticut for our senior year, and in hopes of getting looked at in more schools or whatever. And we had interest, like there was whatever else, but there was no solidification, like there was no offers, there was no whatever. And so until I was getting a good amount of JUCOs, and Northwest Florida State was one of the top JUCOs in the country, although it was the furthest, and I literally told myself I did not want to go far from home, not farther than like an 8-hour drive, and I ended up going a flight away. But yeah, I went to Northwest Florida, and they ended up finding us because the prep national tournament or whatever was in North Carolina, and so they probably, I guess, went up there. But Northwest Florida State, like I wouldn't change my journey for anything. I'm very thankful and grateful for the path that I've taken. But it was definitely a learning experience. I mean, it was hard. There was definitely bad days, good days. But like I said, I wouldn't change it for anything. I learned so much. I won a national championship out of it, and so I can't really complain about anything. I think I became a better person and a better player coming out of it. So,
when you went away to prep, you were with your sister, so
yes.
you had that. But then going away, that had to be really
Yeah.
challenging. And I know in your story, your family's very, very important. You're very close with your family.
Yeah.
So that had to be just a challenging time for that.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, I'm so close to my mom, my sister, just my family. I mean, I wouldn't consider our family to be very big. And me consistently telling myself that I didn't want to go further than an 8-hour drive, and I went down to Florida. I felt very alone. I miss them. I called them every day, probably every hour. They could say they got very annoyed. But I needed to talk to them. I wanted to talk to them. I miss them. But yeah, so I'm happy I got to be able to play back at home. Yeah.
You had to stop before coming back home, though.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So then talk about that experience at Southern Miss.
Yeah. My experience at Southern Miss, like, forever grateful for it. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't really think that I don't know, I guess I could have been in better positions. I had a rough first year. Me and the coach didn't really get along. But I gained great relationships with assistant coaches and whatever else. But yeah, I didn't really have the best first year, although like I did what I had to do on the court. I did whatever I had to do in school. But I mean, yeah, my 2 years at Southern Miss, they're good. I mean, we won the regular season champions. Second year fell short, but I mean, I wouldn't change it for anything. It was a great experience.
Mm-hmm. And then your decision to come to UB for your for your fifth year. I know
Fifth
you
year,
have.
yeah.
Do you have a COVID year in there? Is that
Yeah,
you've
so
got
my
another?
so my COVID year was this year.
It was this year.
And then
okay.
next year will be the JUCO year.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, coming to Buffalo. Obviously, spent enough time away. But talk about the decision to come to UB. What and maybe how that came about a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Once I decided to enter the transfer portal, I didn't really know what to expect. Although, like, once I found out Buffalo was in the mix, like, I was ecstatic. But I mean, at the same time, I wanted to keep my options open, and I told Coach Burke that I just wanted to see, just in case, to see whatever else is out there. And while I was talking to other schools, like in the back of my head, I'm saying like I want to go to Buffalo. I mean, because I haven't been near my family for 4 years at that time or whatever else, and 5 years, and I'm like, I need to go home. My family has only been able to make a few games throughout the year, having to catch flights, figure out different dates, and wow, they could come to every home game. And then on top of that, like I could go home whenever I need to because I love my family. So, I mean, I felt like I tried to make it seem as if it was a hard decision on what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, but I only took the one visit, and I knew I was coming to Buffalo.
So, for you then, what was this past year like to be able to have that immediate family support and to be able to go home and to have them here at the home games? How was that for you? Because you had been missing that for 4 years.
Yeah, no, it was everything. As much as I say that, like, I consider myself having a small family, like the support system and the extended friends that my family will consider family is tremendous. I mean, all of my parents' friends, all of my friends, and so forth. The whole community on the reservation, like that. This amount of support that I had throughout my college career and just my basketball career period, like it was amazing. And for them to be able to come out and watch me and be able to show out every home game, it was awesome. Like I felt like I was playing for them. I felt like I had to put on for them every night, and it was great. I'm glad I did that for our community.
Tell me about this season, and what it's. I'm stumbling here, but like
Okay.
you've got one season with a team as opposed to having a couple years, or you kind of come in. So what's it like? What was it like this year, coming in and knowing it may be your last season and kind of putting it all out there? So how did the season go? How did you approach it?
Yeah, that's honestly one of the reasons. That was actually one of the big things I was contemplating, whether or not entering the transfer portal, because for that reason of having to come into a new program, new players, new teammates, like having to just build that camaraderie, build the chemistry, and just figure out how people play, whatever else. I just, that's not something I really wanted to do, especially because growing up and going throughout the military, like all I had was change. I was consistently moving, consistently leaving, consistently whatever, and so I knew what I was getting into. But I wanted to go home. I wanted to be near my family, have them be able to watch me play, and so I definitely did have a different mindset with it being my last year. I had the mindset that it was my last year, and so I said, like, I've told myself throughout the whole season, like, I'm not leaving without a ring. I'm not leaving without a ring. Like, me and Burke spoke a lot. She made sure that I was always in the right space. She always wanted my opinion, my feedback, just making sure I was okay. Just kind of, with my transition and whatever else. So I really appreciate that. But yeah, I think it was harder for me to kind of come in terms of just like in a leader standpoint, or just trying to be able to run the team as a point guard. I think I had a hard transition with that, and just kind of figuring out the girls and our relationships. Obviously it got better just with playing in time. But I mean, yeah, I mean, kudos to Burke though. I mean, she put us through the things that we needed to get through, and the I'll say scenarios that forced our team to become closer and stay together in adversity and moments of whatever. is really what helped throughout the season as well, and just different things that went on. Like it just, yeah, like I just knew that whatever game came up, we had to approach it like we could get beat, and that's how Burke approached it. And I respected Burke so much for the way she scouted and the way that we prepared, and I tried to follow, and I tried to lead by example, and in terms of just like we gotta win, and these are what the things that we need to do in order to win. So we have to do these things, and I just kind of stuck with that.
Was there a point this season when you thought, "Hey, we have something special here"?
I'm not really sure. Because I mean, it's hard to say because obviously our preseason wasn't the toughest. Although like I knew we had a great group of girls. Like I knew whatever else, but we were so small. Like I didn't really know what we could really do. And just the way that they spoke about the top 3 teams, Toledo, Kent State, Ball State, whoever else. I felt like, I don't know, I kind of underestimated the MAC coming into it from the Sun Belt Conference. But after playing and whatever else and like realizing like how good the MAC actually was and just like the way we played, I knew we were special. I mean, after probably, I really don't know. It's so hard to say because I felt like although we were winning, I feel like it was what we were supposed to do because of the way we were working, the way we were practicing, the way that Burke was preparing us. And so I didn't really feel like losing was an option. But I guess I would say like probably when I wouldn't say we were probably something special until by late into the season, honestly. I mean, I knew we were a good group. I knew we were a great basketball team, but probably late into the season because it was just mindset. And I knew these girls wanted to win. I knew these girls had that type of mentality because that's how we practiced every day. That's how Burke made us practice. That's how she wanted us to practice. I mean, we were always up, we always had energy, and so we just had that mentality of like, we got to win.
When you get to the MAC tournament, obviously there's a loss there, right? So you kind of have that waiting period. What was that like for you after, obviously it's always disappointing when you don't come home with a championship. So you come out of there, and then were you thinking WNIT? Were you thinking still postseason with those couple of days? I can't remember how long it was before the announcement came out.
Well, right after the game, I was very mad. I was very upset. There's a lot of emotions going through me. Coach was speaking on post-play. She was touching on how like it wouldn't be our last time wearing the jerseys and whatever else, and just like keeping our head up. But I mean, for me, I wanted to win it. I wanted to win the MAC tournament. I wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. I felt like we should have. So that was really tough. And I kind of sat on that for a couple of days after that. But me and Burke spoke, and we were talking about the game and how we were feeling and what was to come. And she said that we were most likely gonna have a bid for the WNIT, and she was saying she thinks we could win the thing. And I'm like, do we get rings? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, bet. So let's do it. We came into next practice. I came into the locker room, and like obviously it was hard. I mean, especially if you like have a young team as well. Like there's gonna be players in any team in the country after playing your conference tournament. Like you just kind of have that lull in you, and just you're not really feeling it. You lost. And then spring break's coming up, so a lot of people are just gonna want to relax, go to spring break, whatever else. And so postseason play isn't really something that's in the forefront of people's minds. But when Burke told me that we could win the thing and that there's rings at the end of it, like I'm like, all right, y'all, like I want to win. And I told the girls that. I told the girls like I want to win this thing, and like even if they didn't think we could, we're gonna try. And so I mean, the practices were hard. The practices were tough during that spring break. And, like, we had the first bye, too. So we had a long time before playing our first game while others were already playing. And it was tough just to kind of have that spark under us while practicing. But I think after that first game, after UMass and that kind of, like, tight win, I think we kind of something kicked in and, like, okay, well, we already won one, so let's might as well keep going. And practices started to get better. Practices started to get more energized, and so yeah.
I'll ask you about the basketball run, but I also want to ask you about the fan support that you got, especially all year long, but especially during that debut NIT run and the hosting the semifinal and hosting the final, and so many people, and then a sellout for that final. What did you notice from the Buffalo community or from the area about the support of this women's basketball team?
Yeah, I mean, I think people started to realize that, like, we were actually a good team. And, you know, like I said, the preseason wasn't as tough. And so I'm sure, like, there were fans also having comments about whether or not we were actually good because we were playing teams that we were supposed to beat. But, I mean, yeah, like, after the MAC-10, like, no matter what they thought, we were still number 4 or number 3, whatever we were in the ranked for the conference tournament. And so, I mean, into the season though too, like, we had such a great season and such a great record. Like, we already had so much support throughout the season, people coming out, and just, like, the media team and whoever else did a great job putting it out there and getting advertising and putting out good whatever fans we could get, tickets, different pizza, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was great. And then just being able to completely just keep sharing, having people come out, and then those ones that actually realized that were fun to watch, telling other people. Yeah, it was great. Like, from the very first game, UMass, in that atmosphere to the atmosphere that it was at the championship game was night and day, and it was great to see. But I'm glad that we got to do it in front of the city, because now maybe they'll come out the next year. Who knows?
That championship game, just, you know, briefly, kind of, like, you know, take me through that, and could you hear yourself think in that fourth quarter, because this place was so loud?
Yeah, it was loud. Honestly, the only thing that kept going through my mind is making sure my team was locked in. Like, I was just making sure that, like, they could hear me and I could hear them. I mean, I didn't really, honestly, if I'm being honest, I probably blocked out a lot of the noise, except for obviously the big moments when the crowd just erupts. But I mean, every moment, every play, stop, whatever on the court, there's always a time to say something to somebody. And I think my focus was just to win. I mean, it was a close game, and we were coming back majority of the game, and so I wasn't really focusing on the environment. I was focusing on the win and the things that we had to do. And so I'm always locked in during games. I'm always thinking about different things we need to adjust or whatever else. And so, but the atmosphere, just as much as like, if we were down and we were at an away game, who's to say we would come back without that fans, without that support, without the energy that the community came with. So, I mean, that obviously helps, and just being able to have another boost after a run is like, so yeah, it was great.
What was the moment like for you? The final buzzer goes, and so now you're getting your ring.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that? What was going through your brain?
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, like, from high school, like, I had to work so hard. I had to work double times as any other people. I was smaller, different, whatever else reasons coaches had. I've always worked so hard, and, like, at every stop I got a ring because I like to win. I'm going to do the things that I need to do to win. I work hard, and I always try to do my best for that hard work to pay off and to show. And throughout the season, like, I had a lot of ups and downs, emotionally, mentally, physically, and I know how hard these girls work too. And so and I know how much Burke wanted to win. I know all of our conversations, and my conversations with her, my conversations with teammates, my conversations with my family. Like, I know how much work I put into the game, and I just wanted, like, if I'm coming to Buffalo to win a championship, and Burke keeps talking about a championship, okay, let's get a championship. So now in my head, I'm like, okay, I got to do what I got to do to put myself and the team in the best position to win a championship. And so when the buzzer finally rang and we were up, and the final score was us up 4, it was everything. I mean, I was, yeah, it was definitely a moment to remember. I was very, very happy. I got emotional because of the hard work that it paid off. Like we got what we were working for. Yeah, it was a great moment.
It definitely was. And you may not know this, or maybe you'll appreciate it later, but do you have any appreciation for the history of that moment for women's basketball in the area too? Does that hit you at all?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why I said it on, I think I said it on camera after the game. I was like, this puts Buffalo back on the map. I mean, when Coach Leek Jack left, I mean, she made her stamp on Buffalo, and Burke coming in, it was hard shoes to follow. I mean, hard shoes to fill, but she did it. I mean, and us winning WNIT and that being first in history or whatever else, like, I'm happy for Buffalo, and hopefully that continue to tell the fans to continue to come out, support, no matter who's here, no matter who's playing. I mean, because Buffalo, like, if you're loyal to Buffalo, then it shouldn't matter who's here. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the community, happy for the school.
Your decision to take that this will be your last year, right? Your last year. And to follow Coach Burke to Arizona. Just take me, it sounds like you developed a really great relationship with her this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I have tremendous amount of respect for Burke. Just how she lives her life, how she's straightforward. I mean, you can't help it but to respect it. I mean, she walks what she talks, and it was hard to play for her. I mean, I wouldn't say it's hard to play for her. It's hard to hop on to what she's about, and but in the preparation, like, there's a lot of people that wouldn't want to do it. There's a lot of people that would come in and definitely not want to be a part of it. And so it takes a different type of person, takes a different type of mindset, takes a different type of drive to play under her and want to play for her. But that's something that I respect, and if she has that much respect for me and that trust in me to be able to want to take me with her, like, it was definitely a hard decision for me, because even just before she knew she was going to Arizona, before, like, and just her decision on wanting me to come back to Buffalo, it was tough for me to decide, because, like I said, I had a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, and, like, basketball takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally, physically. My body has been through the ringer, and that was just kind of one of the main points of my decision, was just kind of where my body was at and what else I feel I could take, because I mean, I play so hard, and I'm scrappy. I'm always everywhere, and so it takes a lot on my body. It takes a toll, and we were speaking about that, and she spoke about the training and the resources and whatever else. But also it was either that or overseas, and I didn't really want to be that far away from my family. I didn't really know if I was ready for it, or if I guess I wasn't really confident in that next step. And so, at least being in the U.S. is closer to my family than being overseas. And so I guess I was like, all right, Coach Burke, if you're with me, then I'm with you. And so that decision was made a couple days after she had got her job. And but it definitely it was a long decision for me, whether or not just to play back here in Buffalo. I mean, because that decision was brought to me in, like, February or so, or January, really, when that JUCO thing came out, or December 31st, whatever it was. That was definitely a lot, because like you said, in my mind, like, this was my last year, and so having that decision on me for however long, it was definitely that was definitely hard too, because I didn't want to make the wrong decision, and I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in, like, in guidance and whatever else, and I just felt like the opportunity would have never been brought to me if it wasn't for a reason. And so here I am, taking it.
Just great. So last question, we're going to kind of bring it back to maybe what we talked about a little bit at the beginning. And, you talked about, growing up reservation. And I was at a few games and I saw Seneca, flag.
Mm-hmm.
What does representation, what does that mean to you? And is it important for you to share that part, because it then gives that representation to maybe some other little girl who might be watching you play and realizing she can play Division I basketball too?
Yeah. No matter where I was in college or wherever else, I always made sure to, in every media day picture, I had the flag with me, because that's me, that's my culture. And yeah, to show others that I made it, you can too. No matter where you are, like, the indigenous communities all over have been covered up or whatever else, and it's been my parents, my mom, my grandma, whoever has poured into us, like, our representation and just what being indigenous means. And so I've always been proud to be indigenous. I've always wanted to represent it in whatever ways I could. And even when I was younger on the res, and Shoni Schimmel was actually Burke's teammate at Louisville, and Shoni Schimmel is part of I can't say their tribe, but they're out of North Dakota or Wisconsin or somewhere over there. I don't know. Somewhere over there. She's from that reservation. And when me as a little girl is watching her at Louisville, and like, cause she was so fun to watch. Shoni Schimmel was a great player. I loved watching her. Everybody else loved watching her. And her sister Jude Schimmel also played with her. She was like a couple years younger than her, played with her at Louisville as well. And they actually came to our reservation in maybe 2016, 15, 14, around there. 2016, 15, I don't know. And that was, I got her autograph. Like, she spoke to our community. Like, that was great. And so her doing that for us and whatever other girls, like, that showed me that I could do it just as much. And so me doing this and me representing our community and whatever else hopefully shows younger girls, because I know younger girls that are playing basketball. I know the people that are the kids that are playing on the reservation, and there's great talent, there's good talent, but there's never any resources for them to be able to get out there. And some families don't have the money to be able to put them in AAU, because AAU is expensive nowadays. And so, like, I showed them, because I didn't take the route that most players take either, and I just wanted to show them that, like, I may not have started D1, but I ended up here, and showing them that, like, if they want it, they can work for it and they can get it. So.
And you got a couple of rings.
Yep.
Number of rings to show for that too.
Definitely do. Yep.
Lonnie, thank you so much. I really, Noelani, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah. No, thank you. I really appreciate this.